Another black and beautiful woman. She is an award-winning TVET expert and a well-recognized personality for her work in job creation and wealth generation amongst youths and women in underserved communities across Nigeria. She started Field of Skills and Dreams VT Academy in 2003 with a mission to empower unemployed youths with professional, vocational, technical, and entrepreneurial skills to access industry jobs or set up profitably viable businesses. She possesses excellent communication, mentoring, and teaching skills, which has enabled her to produce measurable outcomes across Nigeria. She has worked in both local and international capacity and has a verifiable record and has effectively trained over 10,000 persons in 14 states of Nigeria, including the popular Chibok women. In recognition of her work, she has received several local and international awards for exceptional work, sustainability, integrity, and capacity building. She is an author, an active mentor, and a global trainer. She is none else than Omowale Ogunrinde. With a resounding applause, can we please welcome up one of our speakers for the next session on employability? Please clap, 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 clap. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. You're welcome to TOG Business Summit 2024 edition. All right. Also, we have for this session a distinguished professional who currently serves as the head of youth engagement and learning at Jobberman. His primary mandate is to upskill at least 1.6 million youths in Nigeria by 2025 as part of the MasterCard Foundation's Young Africa Works project. He has successfully managed numerous youth-led empowerment projects, contributing significantly to job creation and skills development for the youth in Nigeria. He is passionate about teaching, mentoring, coaching young individuals, and helping them find career fulfillment and achieve personal growth. He's a highly efficient project management professional, overseeing various international projects for profit and non-profit organizations. His involvement extends to the co-creation of youth-led projects in countries such as Kenya, Uganda, Egypt, and Somaliland, with a focus on employability skills and ICT intervention. Please, can we welcome Mr. Ini Ikide. Come on, put your hands together for him. Keep clapping, keep clapping. If we clap very well, they will speak very well. Thank you. You may be seated here, sir. Thank you so much for holding our invitation. One of our other speakers is stuck in Lagos traffic, and he will join us in the course of the event. Now, to moderate this session on employability is one of our very own. He's part of the members, he's the coordinator of the TOG Business Network Group. He's a chartered accountant with over 2 decades of years of experience. He's currently a partner with Ernst & Young Nigeria. He's none other than our very own Femi Alabi. So I'll hand over to him for this next segment. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. This will be a very interactive session, and I'm fully aware that we're all eating, but please let us have our questions. Let us have the questions that we have so that we can, once we've started, we can have your questions and take them. I'm really thrilled and honored to moderate this session. And I would like to just start straight away. So, Mrs. Ogunrinde, I'm really thrilled when I heard the whole package in terms of everything you've done, the many lives you've, inspired, and all the things you've done. My question is, tell us about your entrepreneurial journey how and when did you decide to set up the Fields of Skills and Dream Vocation Training Academy? If you could just, summarize it as much as you can, ma'am.
So good afternoon, everyone, and thank you very much for having me here on COG. The journey started in 2003. I would say it started actually before then, but our first training session was on the 1st of May 2003, and I just had an idea, and truly for any business that would grow, it starts with nurturing an idea. So I wanted to support teenagers in my local church, Higher Ground Parish of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. And I brought together professional artisans to come and teach them skills in a one-day program to support them. Maybe they'll be able to do some work and earn some money. And the results were mind-blowing. Even the idea owner was blown away. And I saw that, wow, so this thing would work. And looking at my background, as somebody who had left the banking institution to start a business of my own, I knew for sure that they wouldn't be able to take the skills further if they did not have a little bit of financial literacy. So August that year, we decided to do a 3-day program. And again, it was extremely successful. And women of the church started to complain that this is not something for teenagers, it is for women. And from there, one thing led to another until I heard God clearly that it wasn't a call for the church, it was a call actually for me to go out into the community and impact the world. And in 2005, I set up my first vocational training center, and it's been awesome.
Fantastic. Please, can we give her a round of applause, please? Please, a round of applause. So, Mr. Aikide, I would like to ask, what are those major skills employers are seeking for? For example, someone graduated with excellent result, but is been turned down after each interview with different organizations. What could possibly be missing? What are those things? People feel that I have the skill set, and I myself, I've done quite a number of interviews. People come very intelligent, but they end up not, succeeding at the interview. So what are those things from your perspective that you would say employers are looking for? Thank you.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you very much for having us, speak this afternoon. It's a great pleasure to be here. Thanks to the leadership of the church. Well, when it comes to skills, right, and what could probably be wrong, we could, spend the entire day talking about skills, talking about job. It's a very large, spectrum of skills development, right, and job placement. But for me, I'm going to keep it simple, and especially because of the experience, right, experience from what we've seen so far over the years. And the first will be how adequately prepared is the candidate in the first place, right? Because many people do not understand the reason why they need a job. And it's to be sincere, it's a fact. People do not understand why they need a job. For everything, it begins with a why. Could it be because you don't want to stay at home? Could it be because you want to add value, right? That if the interviewer cannot feel that connection between what you are offering, right, and what the organization would also benefit from you, there's going to be a rejection somewhere. So number one is understanding the why, right, and adequately preparing yourself for the job. Now, talking about skills, I would say employers of labor, like I said, I'm going to keep it simple, require basically just one thing. They're looking for smart employees. And what do I mean by smart? Smart in the sense that you must have the right, technical skills, okay, and also soft skills. The topic soft skills, has been on for many years, and for example, in Joberman, it's also one of our major offering because our mandate, is to upskill close to 2 million, I beg your pardon, 2 million youth, in Nigeria by 2025. So soft skills is very, very fundamental for everyone, right? Most especially for those who are, just recently, leaving the university or, fresh graduates, right? And when we talk about soft skills, the 2016 World Economic Forum talked about the fact that problem solving, critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and communication skills, right? Those are the 4 major skills employers are looking for, okay? You must be able to demonstrate that also, right? So how have we been able to solve problems, okay? How have we been able to demonstrate critical thinking? How have we been able to, demonstrate emotional intelligence, okay? So these are major skills, very important skills that employers are looking for, and candidates must be willing to bring that to the table, okay? Technical skills is one thing. Like we always say, that technical skills can open the door for you, but soft skills is basically what is going to keep you, right, and retain you on the job, okay? So it's not just about saying you have a first class in a particular degree from a particular university, okay? That is good on one hand, but the second part, you must be able to complement it with the right set of soft skills. So soft skills, very fundamental, and I'm just going to leave it at that.
Thank you so very much. As in, your answer is really so apt. From my perspective, it's not just your technical skills, but your ability to also have soft skills, your ability to be well prepared. Because one thing is, when you're going for an interview, they always ask, what do you know about us? And also, what do you know about the level that you are looking at? I've seen interviews go wrong where maybe the person is a senior and is asking for a senior manager's salary. And they're saying, are you sure? And he's, yeah, I'm sure. That's what are you qualified? I think I am. And, the person just got it wrong from that point. And so being able to understand the organization you're being interviewed at, and also understanding the soft skills of that hunger, that definitely no one is employing thinking that you know everything, but that acknowledgement that you don't know it all and you are willing to learn, goes a long way for the employability. Mrs. Ogurinde, if I may ask, coming back, some of our participants would like to acquire new skills in areas where they have good potential for employment. Please enlighten us on, the type of training available in your organization and how they can use those trainings to fit into different areas. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Let me start by saying your technical skills may open the door for the job, but your soft skills would actually keep you on the job. And I believe the main reason why a lot of people lose their jobs is because they don't have the soft skills to keep it, especially when there is some form of competition. So if a company is downsizing and there are 2 competent people in terms of technical skills, and they definitely need to let one go. The one that would go would definitely not be going only because he doesn't have the technical skills. He probably does not have, like my co-speaker has said, attitude to work, take decisions at the right time management, and all of that. So now it is a compulsory part of the training that any reasonable organization will do before they certify their students. So what do we do at FSD? To God be the glory. We have a platform whereby we have, truly it is 100% job creation.
Fantastic.
You will see that I pause.
Please, a round of applause. A round of applause. Can we give her a round of applause, please?
I am very, I try not to say that because it's hard to believe. But on Democracy Day, one of our partners was greeting Nigeria, And they tagged us and they put one figure there. And I said, well, so now I actually have to speak up because this is what our partners say everywhere. 100% job creation. We don't do everything, but we do a lot of work in the construction industry. So HVAC training, electrical installation, in solar installation training. We do fashion design. And under each of these, there are various other aspects of the training. We do hotel and catering management. We do hairdressing, natural beauty care. And like I said, under all
Please,
of this,
another round of applause.
Various sectors. 95% of our training is absolutely free. We work with a lot of international partners that fund the training for young Nigerians between ages 18 and 35. Some of this training, some of these partners would actually even provide you with a stipend to come to school. Some would provide you with lunch, and they will not provide a stipend. However, immediately after the training, you have to go for internship, and it is during the internship that build the resilience to understand the world of work. I can continue, but let me stop there.
I know. In fact, I have a follow-on question, which is that bearing in mind what is going on in Nigeria now and the state of affairs in terms of the economy, how do you see the labor market in the, I won't say short term, in the medium to long term, and where would you say these are the trainings that people would need to, from your perspective, that can, like you said, guarantee employability from your perspective? Thank you.
Well, I believe that everybody is talking about the digital economy. They're talking about green skills and all of that. However, what I just say about Nigeria is we have a population of 220 million. At least that is what is on paper. Everybody has to feed. Everybody has to be clothed. Everybody needs to have a roof on their head. So no matter how unintelligent you are in terms of you cannot play in the digital economy world, you cannot play in the AI world, you cannot play in certain sectors. In these basic things that I have mentioned, and I'm glad almost every woman here today is wearing something African, even the men. You know how much you pay for this. Are those people going to go out of business because of AI? No. So there is work. I always say, I was in a seat like this last week, and I said, I was blind, but now I see. In terms of there are jobs in Nigeria. Absolutely. I'll give you one example. A staff and a student were in the UK in May. The student won an award and somebody had to go. And the student was actually asking that, can I stay back since the visa? And we said, you dare not. And the student and staff, they are back now. And the staff is saying, okay, they introduced us so many opportunities to Japa. And the student said, no, now I am not in a hurry to Japa. Now I have seen that he's playing in the renewable energy space. And he says, the opportunities in Nigeria are just too many. I'm not thinking of Japan now. And that is the truth. I always say that if an old student of mine Japas, they are not going to be carers abroad because they have skills that are tried, that are tested, that will enable them to get lucrative and sustainable jobs in the global space. Thank you.
Absolutely. Please, a round of applause. I can affirm to what Mrs. Ogunride has said. Renewable energy is, for me, the new future. Or it's really now. A lot of people are one way, we're all now in band A, band B, and we all know the impact of Band A. And the reality is that it's so amazing how, having access to solar is providing people options. But of course, at this point, is a little bit expensive, but this was something that was non-existent some years ago in Nigeria. And all of a sudden, at least an average home will have maybe one panel. And even if it's to power a fan and a TV, it's sufficient. So solar is the future, and, the skills that requires, to be able to put those things on the roof or anywhere you want is really what is, making the waves right now. So, Mr. Akide, if I may just go to you, how do I, turn my skills and craftsmanship into a profitable venture? For example, if I'm good at singing, dancing, playing musical instrument, but yet I'm always broke, how can I harness these skills and make a decent living for myself?
Okay, very interesting question. For me, I tell people that self-awareness is the beginning of everything. Self-awareness in the sense that you must understand yourself, your strengths, weaknesses, the things you're good at, opportunities where you need to improve upon, and the things you don't necessarily have to do. So self-awareness is very key. I will not leave here without talking about self-awareness, right? And under self-awareness, we then talk about your unique selling points. What is so unique about what you are offering? She mentioned something. Nigeria is a country of over 200 million people, and that's competition, right? You asked about the job market, very competitive. At the same time, people get jobs every day. At the same time, people are getting rich every day. I'm celebrating a decade of work experience, and for over 10 years, I've never been out of work. And so when I hear people say they struggle to get work, right, I keep asking them, but there are people who have never even been out of work for over 30 years. How are they doing it? Right? Even though I actually spent 8 years in one of, out of the 10 years, I spent 8 years, but it was a journey of progression, right? Because I knew what I wanted, and I knew what to do to get to the top, right? So you have a skill, you have an ability, you have a talent that you want to nurture, you want to grow. That's great because you are aware of that. You've made up your mind, that is what you want to do. That is self-awareness covered. The second thing is the market is competitive, right? What's unique about what you have? Because if you stand, just picture there's a role here and people stand behind themselves, right? It will be difficult for probably whoever is at the top to see, whoever is in the middle, right? But you must position yourself to be the one at the top, to be the one in front, right? So what is, responding to my first question, I spoke about creativity and innovation. So you are aware of what you have, you identify your unique selling points, you know what is unique about yourself. The third now is, how do you apply creativity and what? Innovation. Because the truth of the matter is that we are living in a world where it is only people who are creative, right, and very innovative. It's very a typical example is you go to the market, right, and you see 5 people selling similar things, the same thing. Well, what would prompt you to enter one of those shops? And to burst your bubble, right, even if there are 5 shops, 5 people selling the same thing, there will be one person among the 5 of them that is recording the highest sales, right? And that's because the person is doing something. Probably the person offers a more comfortable solution to the customer when they come into the shop, right? Compared to the others that just want it to be transactional, and after they collect money, they say, oh yeah, they go now, they go, right? You don't pay. You get what I'm saying? So creativity and innovation is very critical at this point. You must always think outside of the box. Don't compete with your fellow peers. Think about how you can be different, how you can be better. You understand what I'm saying? So creativity and innovation is key. Now, this major point I would also like to talk about is you beginning to build your brand. Right? We're at the age of social media. We cannot downplay the importance of social media. Right? There's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's TikTok. I just recently got an apartment and I got it. Where did I get it? On TikTok. The simple person who just advertised something, I was like, oh, this looks very, very, very good, And then I went to visit it and I got it. So, this is somebody who decided to use innovation, like I said. So, this is the age of, social media. Begin from somewhere, right? I listened to the documentary of a popular musician that said when he started his own journey, he was in a small hall singing with just 50 people. Just 50 people because nobody knew who he was and what kind of music, right? But everybody who attended that event went, so these were 50 disciples who went outside and started telling people about this person. And that was basically how the person started growing his brand. You understand what I'm saying? So, it's a pity that so many people want to rise and get to the top instantly. It doesn't work that way. We have to be patient. We have to persevere. Okay, there will be opportunities for you to even showcase your skills for free. Take advantage of that. It might not be about the amount people are paying, but it's about the opportunity, right? It's about the people who would like you, people who would take your contact, people who would call you after, people who would refer, right? So we could go on and on and on, right? But building your brand is very important, and while you are building your brand to stand out, take advantage of any opportunity you have. If it's for free, okay, accept it. I started my career from training young people for free, right? Or maybe for just, transportation, logistics, and all that. But I knew what I wanted. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very important you start that way, right? And continuous learning is also very important, okay? So you are starting something does not mean that you know it all. You have to keep asking yourself, how do I upskill? How do I upskill? Even as a musician, even as a craftsmanship, do you know how to manage customers? Do you know how to manage your emotions, right? Do you know the professionalism and the ethics about your work? So all these are different factors that I feel, right, if young people put together, definitely the sky will just be the beginning. All right, thank you.
Thank you so very much. Please, a round of applause, please, a round of applause. There's so much he has said in a very short period, and I'll try and summarize. What's self-awareness? You must know what you have, and you must not be ashamed of it. Being able to leave your comfort zone. What do I mean by that? Do not be afraid of disappointment. Put yourself out there. There are so many disadvantages of social media, but I will say this, there are more advantages than disadvantages. So put yourself out there. If you are singing, if you are a carpenter, just, project yourself with your craft. And you never can tell. One person would see it from 1 person to 100 people, from 100 to 1,000. And if you project yourself, things can definitely come your way. I actually have a follow-on question to that, which I know a lot of everyone here would like to know. What does a good CV look like? And what are those things from a jobberman perspective that you look out for to say, wow, this is a fantastic CV? So for those that are out in the labor market thinking, I have, and guess what? Most times I see that standard templates. Now, even people are putting pictures on their CVs and everything. So what's that ideal CV that, once you guys see a jobberman, you're like, man, this is a must hire, at least based on the CV before we do the interview?
Okay, thank you very much. In Jobberman, we take a CV session for about roughly 1 hour, 1 hour, 30 minutes. So there's a lot we can say about CV, but I'll just try to summarize. It's very important we understand that CV is a marketing tool. You understand what I'm saying? It's just a tool that should sell you, okay? And if your CV is not sellable, then you are in trouble, even before you get started. And one thing we say about CV is that the major duty of your CV is to open the door for you to get an interview, not for you to get a job, right? So you have to package it in a way that when employers, right, or the recruiters, see your CV, they call you for interview. And what are the most important things? Maybe I'll just talk about 2 things, right? Keywords and, so talking about keywords, now there's something we call the ATS, right? That is the applicant tracking system. So let me explain the ATS this way. So think about you are applying for a job in an oil company. Remember, like I said, we're over 200 million, and it's about 70% fall in the bracket 18 to 35. So you're applying for a job in an oil company. You're not the only one applying, right? So there are over 20,000 CVs that the head of HR or talent manager would receive. Does he have the time? No one has the time to scan through 20,000 CVs. It's not possible, right? So most organizations use a software that is called the Applicant Tracking System, ATS. So what does the ATS watch out for? Keywords, right? And how we are able to tailor the CV to the role you are applying for, okay? And so keywords are, of course, you must be able to demonstrate, right, your experience, and also your achievements. So many people kind of downplay emphasizing or talking about their achievements. It's very important, okay, because you're applying for maybe the head of customer service in an organization, right? You must be able to demonstrate how you've excelled in that role over the years, okay? Also highlighting your key achievements, successes. Very, very important that you highlight, you emphasize on those words. Now, maybe a takeaway for everyone after this class, after this session, is to begin to identify some of those key action words, and because the reason why I said so is that these are the things the applicant tracking system, the ATS, would be watching out for. Maybe a typical example, you're applying for a project management role, right? And in your CV, there's nothing related to project, there's nothing related to project design, project implementation, project evaluation, costs, stakeholders management. It's not going to scale through. You understand what I'm saying? So the applicant tracking system, watch out for the keywords, and also how you are able to tailor your CV, okay, to the application, to what you apply for. I would not encourage people to have generic CVs, and that's the mistake people make. They feel their CV. So I have a CV I've done so many things over the years. So what I'm going to apply for is going to determine how my CV is going to look like. You can't be applying for a project management role and your CV is talking about the job you did 5 years ago in customer service or as a salesperson. The same thing with this, you're applying for a sales manager's role, right? You must be able to tell the employer how much you've been able to close over the years, right? I attended an interview, and how the person got that job was how the person was able to demonstrate how, when she was the head of sales in a particular bank, right, she closed over 50 billion in 8 months. I mean, everyone paused and was like, how did that happen? Now we are talking. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very important we understand. Like I said, it's if you configure, let me put it that way, your CV in a way that it's tailored to the application, to what you're applying for, and you also make use of the right keywords, the right words, okay, that would scale the applicant tracking system. Then you have an edge, right, for you to be invited for an interview. So basically, we are talking about CV, but mastering interview is another conversation, actually.
Absolutely, and I'm sure we are going to get to that. Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause, please. A round of applause. Mrs. Ogunride, I was so inspired about what you said and the 100% rate you have. I think, please, can we give her a round of applause again, please? And I think the next question is just right, which is, what are the steps required in getting admission to FSD VTE? Do the candidate need sponsorship? If yes, how can they get sponsorship? What's the whole process to get admission? Thank you.
Thank you. It's absolutely online. It's free. We don't take, except you want to. So, for example, we have a few people who come in as sponsored and paying students, so they get people to sponsor them. Or some corporate organizations right now actually have their staff with us that they've selected. Maybe for certain roles they'll be playing in the organization, and they are paying. But generally, we have a rolling application portal where you apply. Like I've said, if you're coming in for the sponsored one, it's between ages 18 to 35. None of our partners will take anybody that is over 35. So if you're coming and you are over 35, you'll have to get somebody to sponsor you, or you're sponsoring yourself, which honestly, I have a candidate now who maybe, I'm not sure, I haven't really met him physically, but I have a feeling he was deported from Dubai, but he has come with good references and all of that, the company he was working with in Dubai. And so he's coming in to acquire a skill by himself. He's paying because he knows it's an easy route into the marketplace for him to get a job and build a career. So if you want to come in for the free program, go on any of our social media platforms, fill in the form. We only communicate by email, and then you will attend an interview. And if you're favored, that's the Christian word, if you're favored, you'll get admitted. However, it's almost impossible that you'll be rejected except you are working. Most of the training is full-time, 9 to 2, and Monday to Friday. Classes are compulsory, especially if you are on a training where you are going to get a stipend. Attendance is biometric and all of that. So we're not going to be paying you to come to school when you don't have the time. I can give an example of, we're on the mainland. We have 2 centers on the mainland. There's a guy who used to do a security man job close to Sheffield. And when he enrolled, he said that wasn't going to be a problem because he was going to move shift to night shift. And truly, he attended all his classes, did everything possible. Unfortunately, he was doing a security guy's job because he couldn't get a job, according to him, that was as lucrative as that one. After his training, he had to go for his internship. He did his internship somewhere, and they retained him as a technician. So you can imagine that within 6 months of his life, everything just changed because he humbled himself. It takes a lot of resilience to go to school, especially when you are maybe in your 30s or in your late, when you are in your 30s or in your late 20s. However, the end justifies the means. But is there any protocol? I heard some people talking about the LSCTF funds, and maybe I should talk about that. I always say that they don't pay me. I'm not a politician. I'm not advocating for them. But by the nature of work I do, I know that the LSCTF fund is absolutely the best that you can get access to as a small business owner. You don't need to know anybody. All you have to do is apply. In all sincerity, like somebody mentioned, I think the most difficult part is having the LASRA ID card. The LASRA ID card means you are a resident of Lagos State. You can get that card from any local government close to you. Between 200,000, I think it's higher than that, up to 5 million. And the interest rate, the way they even expect you to pay and all of that is so easy. But ignorance, my people perish for lack of
knowledge. Thank you so much. Please, a round of applause. I actually have a follow-on question, and is this. We tend to get people that, and I'll give an example. Maybe they got a 2-1 in a good school in Nigeria, a good university in Nigeria, but 2 years, 3 years down the line, they haven't been able to secure a job. But there is something that is unique. There is a minimum expectation, where, look, my friends are working in Chevron, are working in GT, are working in all this. What am I doing? And there's that minimum expectation that there are maybe a teacher opportunity or, something lower. I can't collect 200,000. It's too small. I can't collect 300,000. My mates are at 1 million, at 800. Why should I, what word will you have for them? As in, what word of encouragement? Because it's amazing that, if they're able to go lower, the chances of coming back up and even surpassing those that have the 1 million is there. So what word of encouragement would you have for them based on your experience? Thank you.
It's actually not a word of encouragement. It's a chastisement, because I don't understand why you will compare yourself with people who are earning 800 when you are earning 0. And there are graduates who are taking 30,000 naira jobs in schools to work. So there's actually no comparison. You have to compare yourself with yourself. Where am I right now? I don't have an income. You know, if we were all abroad by age 18, your parents would be expecting you to contribute to the income of the family. If I'm right, Obama's daughters took loans to go to college. So what are we talking about here? So there's truly no comparison. And you look at it that the world is actually for the resilient. All of us that are sitting and talking about businesses today and all of that, we know how we started. You know, we really, really know how we started. If you are a successful business person in Nigeria and you never cried, you never fasted, you know, the days and age of Redeem helped some of us. So now if they say do 30 days or 20 days of dry, you will be saying, well, but in those days when you are starting your business, in fact, if they say dry, you will be the first person to, because you do everything to, but it's resilience. So if you are not earning, like I tell people when they say teachers, and we have a lot of teachers coming to us for this, for training, because when they say their salaries, they'll say, how can a school pay somebody 30 or 50,000? But when our students go on internships, they will be jumping. They say, no, I can't take that internship. They are offering me 50,000. It's too small. Because they are coming with a skill. Stoop to conquer. That's it. Just get into the system. And then you now begin. In fact, one of our students moved from an international company to another one. And I was like, I've never heard of this company before. And when I mentioned it to somebody, they said, what? If he can enter that company, he's made for life. I said, really? This small boy that is not yet married. But did that just suddenly come upon him? No. He started from somewhere. So anybody who wants to climb the ladder, let me end with one of the examples we use when we are talking to low-income earners. When you have a baby, if the baby, you've just had a baby in the hospital, and the baby begins to work, or you had your baby and the baby has teeth, how would you feel? The parent will run away. So you expect that there is a growth process. Please, no matter where you are, everybody should understand that there is a starting point before you get to the end point. Thank you.
Please, a round of applause, a resounding round of applause. Thank you so much for that, ma. Mr. Ikide, I have one question, which is, you're currently in charge of youth engagement at Jobberman. Please share with us how our youth can benefit from programs you have at Jobberman and your associates.
Okay, thank you very much once again. So Jobberman has evolved over the years. Will be 15 years this year. We started, playing in the talent space through, by selling recruitment services. But now we've also evolved into, of course, trying to tackle everyone's problem, which is youth unemployment, right? So in 2020, we partnered with the MasterCard Foundation and to upskill over 2 million youth in Nigeria, and to place about 600,000 of them into dignified and fulfilling work. And we have so we actually use a more placement-focused approach because the aim is not for us to just train, but also to connect young people to jobs. So we use a more placement approach, like I said, and we ask ourselves, okay, what are the important sectors of the economy where people, find their space or play into? The white-collar job, of course, is also very prominent because people want to graduate from school. They want a formal job. They want a white-collar job. So we have the soft skills training. So we have the Jobberman soft skills training that is also for free. now available online. You can take the training either through our self-paced platforms. Coursera is a very popular platform, so we have the Jobberman Soft Skills on Coursera, so you can just search on Coursera. We also have it on our on Zoom, right? So I think now is once in a month on a Saturday we organize the soft skills training on Zoom, right? That's the self-paced. We know Zoom, right? The self-paced platform. So the training is roughly 2 hours, so it's not a training that will take all your time, and all that. So you can also register for the Jobberman Soft Skills training on Zoom, so that's for this virtual platform. For physical training, we also do physical training, but it's also partnership focused, okay, in the sense that if we have maybe this church who has invited us to come train their youth in soft skills, we engage with such organizations, maybe youth-led organizations, NYC, for example. So we have the soft skills training available we are leveraging all platforms, right? Physical training, like I said, is available on Zoom, and it's also available on Coursera. So the second placement approach was also to look at, apart from the formal sector, which other sector is also prominent. And funny enough, our research actually shown that 70% of the jobs available, more than 70% of the jobs that are available are in the informal sector. Right? I mean, the white-collar job that everyone wants to, is not available to all, right? But the informal sector is the biggest sector in Nigerian economy today. Someone is selling, no matter how small the business is, everyone is selling. If it's shawarma, you are selling. If it's zobo, you are selling kunu somewhere. So small businesses. So we have the entrepreneurship and small business course, right? And the reason why we actually called it the small business course is because the focus of the entrepreneurship course is for small business owners, right? So you have a small business, or you have just a simple business idea, and you do not know how to start up a business, right? So we have the entrepreneurship and small business course that is also available online through our self-paced platform. Like I said, so you can always very easy just search Jobberman Soft Skills, Jobberman Courses, Jobberman Training, right? So the entrepreneurship course basically, approach business-related modules like business model canvas, how to write a single business plan, how to manage customers, simple accounting and bookkeeping, also social media, how to leverage social media to boost profitability. So the entrepreneurship course is very robust, right, and it's very highly recommended. So I want to encourage everyone to take the entrepreneurship course. Then the third sector of the economy that we also approach, like I said, our strategy is to approach, to use training to drive placement. So we looked at it from a placement angle, right? That where are young people? Where are the jobs available, right? So the third is the freelance, or what we call the gig economy. The gig economy is also growing rapidly. People are becoming tired of the traditional 9-to-5 work. Globalization has also helped. So from here in Nigeria, you can get a job. You can have a client in the US. You can have a client in Germany. You can have a client in Japan, right? But how do you manage international clients? Not bringing our Nigerian self and thinking that is how everyone would accept it. So cultural communication is very key. Right? Also, how to manage tasks, how to manage schedule. Okay, so you have a client in America that gives you a job at the time you are waking. At the time maybe you're about to wake, or the time, time different. Let me just put it that way. The time zone different. How would you manage such client? Would you tell the clients that, boss, we're in Nigeria, I'm about to sleep. Please wait till I wake up. You can't do that, right? Because this client is going to pay you in dollars, right? So we have it's called Becoming a Global Gig Worker. So it's a course that basically targets the gig economy or the freelance space. So 3 courses I'm going to summarize again. The Jobberman Soft Skills Training, available for free. The Entrepreneurship and Small Business course. And to those that want to transition into freelancing or the gig economy, there's also the training for the gig economy, right? The gig economy class. The fourth is the last pillar, which is digital skills, right? Which is also, we've not yet launched that course because these are the 4 major placement pillars we looked at: soft skills, entrepreneurship, gig economy, and digital skills, right? But the digital skills has not been launched yet. Maybe when next I come, I'll be able to share more details. But these are the three very important courses that are available to everyone. And also, thank God I didn't forget, the financial literacy course. Financial literacy is also available online for free. Take, for example, so many people fall victim of doing the wrong investment, falling into the hands of Ponzi schemes, and all that. But when you are financially literate, you know how to save your money, you know how to invest, and all that. So these are the four major courses that we have available for free for everyone. Thank you.
Please, a round of applause, please. A big round of applause. At this point, I'm sure you have burning questions. We would like to take questions from the audience. Just before we do that, please, so prepare your questions before we go. Mrs. Ogun, I wanted to ask, you talked so much about the your application and how they can apply. And since we are doing a live stream and people have their jotters here, if you could tell us your website or the name and all of that, how they can go online and apply for the trainings, ma'am.
Okay, I think I'll just say the name of the organization. Google is your friend, so if you type in the name of our organization, you will see all the social media handles. Where you will see our applications will be on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and on the website. So it's Field of Skills and Dreams Vocational, Technical, and Entrepreneurship Academy. But immediately you put in Field of Skills and Dreams, something will come up.
Thank you so very much. And for Jobberman?
Yes, Jobberman is a very popular brand, right? So once you on Google, same thing. Our website is www.jobberman.com. And for job seekers, you can always open a job seeker account, which is also for free, right? And update your profile to 100% and also click on the job alert button, right? So you can always get regular updates about vacancies. Then for the training, like I said, there are about 3 or 4 courses, like I mentioned. So you can also, search on Google Jobberman Soft Skills, Jobberman Entrepreneurship Course, or Jobberman Training, right? And it will definitely bring the different options for you to pick your preferred channel. If it's physical training, if it's virtual, if it's self-paced, and all. Yeah.
Thank you so very much. Please, a round of applause. So, do we have questions from the audience? 1, 2 questions. Okay. We have 2.
Thank you so much.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to be directing my question to...
Sorry, if you could introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Omoto Shaoni. Okay. I work in the asset management of City Trust, and I'm asking this because, I worship in a youth church, so we're here most time, and I think we were part of that experience. And it has to do with Jobberman is trying to bridge the gap with employers. So I know they do background check, they do the recruiting process. But my question directly is about remuneration currently. Not Jobberman now, but a firm like Jobberman. You help somebody to get a job, and I know the company should pay you. I think you should be paid for your service. But what we see over the years is that the company is paying XYZ 150,000. And the XYZ company, because they were the one that did the process, they are paying this person 60,000. It's happening, and we can't. I'm not saying it's Jobberman, but I'm saying that I don't know if it should be the right thing to do. You get a job for someone, you can even take the first salary and let the man be. But how do somebody go every day? You take more than what the person is taking because you are a platform that the person gets job from. Sincerely, it is criminal. It is criminal. Because most of the time, these contracts were never dotted. They don't even have the knowledge of how much the employer pays. They work themselves out. Somebody is paying you 150,000. You cannot even be fair enough to do 50-50. You are taking 90, and the person is going home with 60,000. Yet, you now say the staff is being disgruntled. You say the staff is not... I don't know what kind of motivation, and I don't know if there is a law, because sincerely, on my own, we want to begin to identify companies like this, name and shame. Because you sit somewhere, the only thing you did was to link this person to the job. You only point them.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Your response.
Yeah, so let me respond to that quickly. So I'm not going to speak for other management consulting organizations. I'm going to speak for Jobaman. So we don't actually operate with that kind of business model. So we have different recruitment solutions. For example, job listing is 100% free. So what's job listing? An employer can go post job vacancies on our platform for free. Thanks to the MasterCard Foundation. It used to be a paid service, but it's 100% free now. We don't charge. There's the Job Boost, there's the Pro Recruit, there's the Executive Recruitment, right, that we offer. And for each of these different services that I talked about, we bill the employer, right? The employer pay for the service, okay? So if it's Pro Recruit is just saying, just give us the top 5. Then we would interview the rest and we decide. That is Pro Recruit, right? Executive Recruitment is, we don't have the time. Just give us the best 2, right? And we pick. Or some would say just recommend the best for us. And then we charge them for such recruitment and we get paid, right? So we do not interfere in the... So it could also be an internal policy thing that is unknown even to the recruitment service or the recruitment organization, right? So, like I said, I wouldn't speak because I do not know why they do that, but we don't do that in Jobaman, right? We use basically paid service system for each of the products that we offer, right? And once the employer, for example, pays the fee, that's for executive recruitment, for Pro Recruit, for Job Boost, right? That is it. You understand? So maybe just, I don't want to...
Thank you so much. I think we have one more question. The mic, I think. Yes. So we'll take 2 more. Then Pete. Okay. Yes, there are quite a number. All right. Please, go ahead, sir.
Okay. I'm asking this question because...
Sorry, we can't hear you.
All right. I'm asking this question because I really need an answer. Yes.
Please go ahead.
One work paid 40K the month. Feed, TP, 1K, morning and evening. Save in their time. Can one save to grow?
Did you get that? You said someone gets...
that someone earning 40,000 naira per month.
Yes.
In that money, there's transport, there's feeding, there's all of that. How does he get to save money to grow on that amount? Like the 40,000 is not even sufficing to live on. So how then do you grow on that? So please, prefer solution.
I would. Can I go ahead? Okay. And I think that's the essence of why we are here, empowering minds. Now, you raise a very valid point. For me, is that one must leave the comfort zone. And I will tell you, I won't say, save 25,000 out of that. But guess what you can do? You can take either the free training to get yourself from the 40 to 150 and thereabout. Or even use 10,000, depending on whatever training you are going. Just saying to yourself, I am better than this, and I can learn. You understand? With what Mrs. Ogurinde has said, if you now have that mode and that mindset, that what is the skill set I need that can move me from 40,000 to 70,000 to 100,000, that is the indirect saving that you might apply to take you to the next level. Thank you very much. Yes.
Just to buttress your point, right? The truth of the matter is that many of us have been in that situation before, right? You're talking about 40K. I started my own with 20,000, right? After I graduated from school, I knew I wasn't ready. I wasn't job ready. I went to a finishing school, right, to polish my soft skills and entrepreneurship and the employability skills, right? And that basically helped me in the journey. And my first internship role was 20K. That money could not sustain me for the month. You understand what I'm saying? But one of my mentors told me that if I am comfortable, if I always feel comfortable at where, my present situation, then it means there's a problem somewhere. You should never be comfortable with where you are, regardless of where you are. You must always be thinking, what next? How do I get out of this place? How do I become better? Right? And the rest is story. You understand what I'm saying? I moved from that 20K upwards. And within the space of less than a year. So you are talking about where you currently are. If you can apply what he has said, trust me, in less than 3 months, you'll be out of where you are. It will be like magic, right? I mean, and that is basically, we come to church to pray, and the good news is that God actually answers our prayer, but many of us don't know our prayer has been answered. But what we just need to do is to put in the work. Put in the work, put in the effort. Then you see it happen, and you say, this is magic, this is a miracle. Yeah.
Fantastic. Please, a round of applause. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon to the panelists.
Thank you.
First of all, I want to thank the pastorate of our Able Church for, approving this initiative, and also members of the business committee for a job well done. My question is this. In Nigeria, as a country, when people apply for jobs and they don't get the jobs through recruitment agencies, there's no effort by lots of the recruitment agencies and organizations to give feedback. Like, most times when you apply for a job overseas, they'll get back to you. Some of the organizations go ahead to tell you that these are the reasons why you are not being shortlisted, or we are not going to continue with your candidacy and all that. But in Nigeria, maybe because companies and organizations and recruitment agencies feel that they have a large pool of candidates, so they don't care. So I don't know, can you address this, sir? Thank you.
And you're right. You're very correct in this regard, where feedback should be given. But then you've also, addressed the major concern, which is it could also be very overwhelming, right? Because the HR has interviewed over 100, right, of applicants. Okay, and the person can also be operating on a target system. It might be target-based. And even out of the 100, maybe the person did not even find the right candidate. And the person has to go all over again. So the person is even feeling overwhelmed. You get what I'm saying? So that's basically what happened, right? The ideal thing is you should get feedback. But this is also where we, advise. This is what we advise to people, to folks, that you also have, it's also within your right to ask for feedback. Okay, so if you did not get a feedback, you can always ask for feedback, okay? Feedback about your performance, feedback about the final decision. But even within Jobberman, we tell people, once you apply for a job and you've done your interview and 3 weeks is gone by, 4 weeks gone by, just forget it. You are not selected. You are not the preferred. Let me say the preferred candidate, right? So, so to summarize my answer, if you don't get the feedback, you can always ask for the feedback. But if after 3 weeks, 4 weeks, no response, just move on. Bye.
Just one more question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to appreciate the organization of this very church for bringing together this very fantastic forum. May God continue to reward them tremendously. My question is, sir, Bible said that the gifted man will make a way for him or her. Peradventure now, maybe I have interest. I'm very skilled in one of the lucrative business in Nigeria, even the world now, that's football or whatever. Then I don't have connection. How can I get connection through your forum? What can I do to get a connection through your forum? That's the question number one. Then the question number two, about employment. After I've submitted my CV, I'm being employed, I've been interviewed, I performed exceedingly well in my interview conducted to me. Then it now got to areas of salary. They usually ask this question from employee. Now, we know that you have performed wonderful well in our interview conducted to you. Now, what is the salary we want to be paying you? Then in that question, sir, what is the best question, answer to that question? Because some people, after they want to get employed, before you know, that question, we just cut them off. So what's the best answer to that very question? Then, ma, to your own area, peradventure, I want to come to your organization. Then how many years am I going to spend in your organization to be graduated? And after graduated, which type of certificate are you going to issue to me? And is it recognized in the world? Thank you very much.
Okay. I think the first, yes.
About connection, right? Instead of, I would actually prefer to use the word network, right? A very simple answer, you have to build your network, okay? And that is the reason why forums like this are organized in the first place. For you to project yourself, you have to be outside. You have to go out, attend events like this. It's not just about attending events like this, right? How many people are you able to network? Okay. At the end of the session, how many people are you able to meet up? How many people are you able to talk to? Right? How many people's details are you able to get? You start building your network, right? That way. But if you are waiting for maybe someone to give you the president's number, it might not happen that way. But you might be privileged to attend an event where maybe the president is there, right? And favor shines on you. But if you are not taking that step to even go for that event, the opportunity wouldn't even have come. So there are events. This is one of them. There are multiple types of different events that are ongoing. It could be career fairs. It could be HR breakfast meetings. It could be professional summits, on anything related to your own career, right? Related to your own specialization, right? Try to attend such events, such conferences, such seminar or summit, even if it's paid or free, right? If it's something you want to, if you have to pay for it, because right, that when you go attend such events, you will meet prominent people. You understand? You will meet people who, if you walk up to and you are able to, share your ideas with them, somebody might also buy your idea, right? So, and we also tell people it doesn't also stop there. You can also go for an event and you obtain 10 complimentary cards and you end up stocking it in your suit until when the dry cleans and now remember that, my complimentary cards are there. No, right? What's next? You still have to find a way to reach out to them. Thank them for exchanging their contact in the first place. Because trust me, I can give you my contact, but if I don't have your number saved, I won't pick your call, right? But if you go ahead and probably you send me an email or a text message telling me, thank you very much for exchanging your contact with me. We met at so event, right? This is what I do, right? Looking forward to connecting, to learning from you. Then I'm looking at it from a more value-based solution. Otherwise, I'll be thinking maybe this person wants to ask me for money. And, that might not happen. And the second question is about salary, right? You have to be very careful when it comes to salary negotiation, right? Don't ask for what the employer cannot afford to pay. So many people feel because, you've been invited for an interview, the office looks so cozy, so these people have money. They might be in serious debt so that you don't know, right? So just do your own research. Do your own research, right? Find out how much, right, the salary range, for such role or such position. Don't just go in there and just, you give an amount that will just, be a turn off, right? So do your own proper research, right, and make sure. And if you don't know, you can also ask, right? You can also ask, but it is also more effective if you do your own research and you have an idea of how much the organization pays. There are so many platforms that you can actually get that from. I don't want to mention names apart from Jobberman, but there are other brands, that if you do your own Google search, you would see they'll give you the salary, range, right? And also review from past employees that have worked in that organization. You will see things there.
Fantastic.
Right? So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. What can I say? There are still 100 questions or more that we would like to ask, but we need to keep to time. I want to say I feel very honored to moderate this session. Honestly, the insights that we've gotten, some of the comments that we've had, please can we give a resounding round of applause to Mrs. Ogurinde and Mr. Akide. Yes, I know. So for the questions that were asked, please, we can take them, after the other sessions. I even have some of them here, which I would hand over to Mrs. Ogurinde, and she'll be able to do a one-on-one before she goes. But please, another round of applause. Thank you very much. Okay. So for the presentation, yes, you deserve a fantastic award. You both deserve, please. For the presentation, Pastor Moyowa, if you could come to provide the awards. Thank you so very much. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you so very much. Yeah. Yes. You take a picture. And one more for you, sir. Yes. Thank you so very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you.